How's it going, you guys? AZPlow21 back with more WMMA 5 here in our UFC save in what I believe is episode 15. I might be wrong, but nonetheless, as you can tell from the title, we have a fight night. It's Joanna JEDRZEJCZYK taking on TATIANA SUAREZ. Taking a look at the fight card here, of course, you can see JEDRZEJCZYK, who in real life is coming off the loss to Zhang Weili in what is probably the best women's fight of all time, in my opinion. I was there for that live. I lost some money because I bet on Joanna. It is what it is, but it was a great fight. I'm glad I was able to experience it live, and here she's getting right back into the thick of things, taking on TATIANA SUAREZ. No slouch by any means. Undefeated at 8-0, 5-0 in the UFC. Battle tested, sort of, but not necessarily against the best of competition. Her last win coming over Nina Ansaroff, but Carla Esparza is a pretty good win to have under her name. In the co-main, Rafaela Sunsao taking on Jim Rivera in a battle of the top tens. Alia Quinta versus Alexander Hernandez. Matt Brown taking on Albert Tumanov. Blagoy Ivanov taking on Cyril Gane. And Mirsad Bektic taking on Super Sodiq Yusuff. So not a terrible card by any means. I mean, it's definitely a card that I would be willing to watch live, especially being able to see Joanna, being able to see Quinta and Hernandez. Matt Brown's a legend of the sport. Ivanov, even Sodiq Yusuff is becoming to he's coming into his own. So it's already set up all the broadcasters, things like that. We have no emails of note. Nothing has happened really since the last episode that I've shown you guys. So let's go ahead and get right into the fight card. Of course, our next fight card after this one will be our pay-per-view, which is UFC 250 Usman versus Masvidal. I'm gonna be super excited to show you guys that one. So as always, glad you guys can join me. Let's go ahead and get right into the fight card. All right, in Washington State, of course, go ahead and get things started with the prelims. First one is Jun Yong Park taking on KB Bular. Now, Bular, I believe he has a brother who was in the UFC. I can't think of his name right now, but he's undefeated at 8-0. I'm going to go ahead and pick him to win, and he does via unanimous decision in what was apparently a fantastic fight. And nice to see you, MyStick02. Glad you could join. All right, go ahead and take a look. He gives a little bit of a show of respect to his opponent. And I know I kind of mentioned that I didn't necessarily want to stream, all the fight cards, but I was kind of just in the mood to do it, so why not, All right, so Alan Tigre Zuniga taking on Frank the Crank Camacho. All right, 13-1 taking on 22-8. I've actually seen Zuniga fight live. He wasn't necessarily the best, but he ended up winning that fight. And which fight was that? Couldn't have been that one because I think he's fought even after that. Nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and pick him to win just because he's a little bit younger, and he actually loses via split decision. So the 28-year-old getting his second loss of his career to Frank the Crank. And let's see, does he call anybody out? He does not. 23rd win of the career for Frank Camacho. Next up, we have Shamil Musayev taking on Bekzad Abdurakhimov. Both undefeated, 14-0, taking on 7-0. In my last save, Abdurakhimov ends up becoming a pretty good contender in the lightweight division. But this guy's 14-0 and a little bit taller. I'm going to go ahead and pick Musayev here. And he actually loses via unanimous decision. So Bekzad able to stay undefeated at 8-0, hands Musayev his first loss of his career. Shows a little bit of respect. You like to see that out of your young prospects. Also undefeated, Movsar Evloev, who in my last save was a interim champion at the bantamweight level. He takes on Luka Iovine. I'm going to go ahead and pick Evloev here. It's basically a pick-em between these two. And it's actually Iovine who comes out on top. 4 inches shorter, 5'4", in the bantamweight division. Able to get the win, moves to 13-2, and hands Evloev his first loss of his career. All right, up next, in what is a featherweight tournament fight, it's Norma Dumont taking on Amanda Lemos. So now, whoever wins this moves on to the semifinals of the featherweight contendership tournament, and I think it's going to say as much here. Yep, a semifinal spot in the featherweight contendership tournament is up for grabs. So I've set up a little bit of a tournament. It's 8 fighters, and the winner of that tournament ends up fighting for the featherweight championship at some point in the future. And it's going to be Amanda Lemos moving forward via unanimous decision. Improves to 8-1-1. Meanwhile, Norma Dumont, I might send her down. I'm probably going to send her down to Invicta. Get a little bit more seasoning. 4-2, not the best record. And we're not really going to need her in the featherweight division right now anyways. Moving on, Sergey Spivak taking on Martin Boudet. And Spivak is favored. Only 25 years of age. I'm going to go ahead and pick him to win. And he does via Kimura in round number 1. Very good for Sergey. And he doesn't call anybody out, just happy to win. Up next, we have Liana Joshua taking on Pani Kianzad. Of course, Kianzad, Ultimate Fighter finalist. She lost to Macy Chiazon, however. 12-5, taking on 7-3. I'm going to go ahead and pick the young woman out of Tbilisi, Georgia. And she does win by split decision, though. And she wasn't happy with the split decision. She thought it was a unanimous decision. She improves to 8-3 nonetheless. And now we're at our first fight of the main card. Mirsad Bektic taking on Super Sodiq Yusuf. And what is a good fight between two younger prospects in the featherweight division. I'm a big fan of Yusuf, but it seems like he's a big underdog here against Bektic. My guess is that Bektic does take it, and he does via unanimous decision in what was a pretty average fight. You don't like to see that, especially considering Yusuf is such a exciting fighter, but it is what it is. Next, you have Blagoy Ivanov taking on Cyril Gane. Remember, Ivanov fought against Derek Lewis, and Lewis said he wanted to beat up on the booty hole in his chest. All right, Ivanov, 5'11", taking on 6 inches taller Cyril Gane. I'm going to take Gane here. A big, I think he's a kickboxer. No profile on his name, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Gane, and he does win via knockout in round number 1. 30 seconds to open up his stance here in this save. A very good way, and he's surely going to be in the top 20, top 15 now. All right, legendary Matt Brown taking on Albert Einstein Tumanov. All right, minus 230 favorite is Matt Brown, 38 years of age, taking on 20-4 in Albert Tumanov. I mean, the wrestling probably pretty good for Matt Brown, but he does like to brawl. And I'm not sure how that's going to work out against Sambo Master and Tumanov. And he does end up getting the win via split decision. Very good win for Tumanov to get that over Matt Brown. Probably up his popularity a little bit here in America. Next, we have Rajan Alia Quinta taking on Alexander the Great Hernandez. Yaquinta, of course, 14-6-1, taking on 11-2. Alexander just lost. He just lost to Drew Dober. Drew Dober beat the crap out of him. Lost via TKO, but hopefully able to, get things back on track. But big underdog against Al Yaquinta. Let's see if the real estate agent can do it, and he does via unanimous decision. A good win for Yaquinta after, I think, a couple straight losses for him. Able to beat up on Hernandez. All right, co-main event time. Rafael Assunção taking on Jimmy El Terror Rivera. Assunção, number 5 in the world at the bantamweight division. And Jimmy Rivera is number 9. So a very good top 10 matchup between these two. If I had to pick, I'd probably go with Assunção just because of his grappling skills. Rivera's not with a fight team, so that's going to, kind of dampen his chances a little bit. And he actually ends up winning via unanimous decision. It was a good fight. Nothing super spectacular, but Jimmy Rivera getting a pretty good win. And I think he's coming off a loss as well. 2 straight losses to 2 really tough competitors. And he's lost to some killers. Moraes, Sterling, Jan. Like, those are the guys that are basically, fighting for the championship pretty soon. So a good win for him to get back, probably into the top 5. All right. Rivera shows some respect to his opponent, and now we are at the main event of the evening. JOANNA JEDRZEJCZYK taking on TATIANA SUAREZ, and JEDRZEJCZYK is actually the underdog. So very interesting for her. Tatiana looking to improve on her undefeated record. Here we go. Basically, if Tatiana were to win this one, she would more than likely earn a championship fight in the near future. Takedown from Suarez, no good. You know, it was so much fun going to Vegas and watching that. Oh, another takedown attempt here from Suarez, but being able to watch young Jacek fight against Zhang live in Vegas, it was crazy. And there was a couple of Chinese people like sat next to us, me and my friend that went, and they had bet like some serious money on Zhang Weili. Well, I had bet like maybe $50 on Joanna, but he had bet like $5,000 on Weili to win. So, I mean, ridiculous. So a 10-9 for young Jacek. But yeah, I can't wait to go back to Vegas again after all of this is over. Catch a UFC show, put a little bit of money down, on the parlay. Just a lot of fun to be had. Young Jacek looks to be dominating, dictating the tempo of the fight. And that's really what you want to do. Ooh, a cut. Who did that cut? So let me stop the timer. I want to see who got cut. And so Suarez has a cut underneath her eye. Very interesting, considering that Tatiana was favored in this matchup. And now she gets a takedown midway through the second round. Cut underneath her eye, but able to get a armbar attempt. And young Jacek's able to defend it. Whoa. Whoa. So Suarez was able to get in a north-south choke, but before she could really squeeze it, the round ends. So basically one apiece as far as rounds goes. Another takedown attempt for Suarez, and she gets it. Suarez in control here. Wow, the entire third round. Basically all Tatiana Suarez on top of Joanna, and that's going to be her round. So now into the championship main event rounds with round 4, and Suarez probably up by a round and almost getting a takedown. You want to actually grab the cage to avoid the takedown. Gets a warning. Smothering Joanna. Reopens a cut. So Suarez is bleeding out of that eye. And she's trying to get a takedown, but she can't. Young Jacek is looking pretty tired. Trying to muscle Joanna up against the cage as round 4 expires. And apparently young Jacek needs to get a finish in this round. Tatiana still cut pretty deeply. Another takedown for Tatiana. Trying to pass guard. She can't get free. Two minutes gone, and Joanna just getting controlled on the ground. And Suarez looks like she might work her way into a win here. Not much going on. And as we exit this fight, all 5 rounds have been done. We're going to go ahead and stop. The commentators score it for Suarez. I think it's going to be kind of the same thing. Maybe 4-1 in terms of the rounds. The judges have it 49-46, 48-47, and 48-47 for the winner by unanimous decision, Tatiana Suarez, improving to 9-0, giving Joanna another loss on her record. And, she's more than likely going to be fighting for a championship in the near future. Attendance of 1,000, critical rating 67, commercial rating 76. And a pretty good show overall. The main card could have had a little bit better, nearly all decisions. One knockout from Gane, and because of that, it's 30 seconds, geez. And because of that, he's probably going to get a bonus. Let's see who we're going to give those bonuses to. Fight of the night, it's going to be that prelim fight that was fantastic. KB Bular and Jung Young Park. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, so we're going to give a bonus to Cyril Gane for that nice knockout. And then I mean, geez, there was only 2 stoppages on the entire card. I mean, Spivak. Uh, I'm taking a look here. I mean, there's not really much. So, I mean, yeah, performance of the night. Sergei Spivak, I guess. All right. So we lost $446,000 on this show. Very unfortunate. We didn't get any popularity increases either, but that's probably going to be a big part of our pay-per-view. We really need to sell some pay-per-views. We really need to make some money, because we can't afford to not be getting popularity increases and not, be making money, because we want to eventually, get the UFC network rolling. And with that, we'll be able to make more money. We'll be able to get our populars to be more get our fighters to be more popular, and then it just continues on from there. It's a whole big circle of life, and it all starts with us making some money from these pay-per-views. And we have a pretty good pay-per-view to sell to the public as well. A really stacked fight card with some legends of the sport and 2 title fights, which was supposed to be 3, but is now 2 because Alexander Volkanovski has unfortunately gotten injured here in this save. And last night, Anthony Smith got ragdolled by Glover Teixeira. Very unfortunate. It is what it is, though. That's just how it goes. And then Saturday we have Walt Harris fighting Alistair Overeem. That'll be pretty interesting. I would not want to be Alistair Overeem in that situation. Having to fight, the man who lost his daughter tragically this year, and that's probably weighing on his mind heavily. And I mean, what if Alistair just straight up knocks him out? He would kind of look like a dick. I mean, it's not like he really can do anything about it, but it sucks, doesn't it? Once again, I thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are thinking. I am aiming to stream UFC 250 tomorrow, which is Friday. I'm going to be uploading this. Well, I say tomorrow. It's 11:40 right now. So today, Friday, I will be streaming UFC 250. More than likely around noon. So around noon Arizona time. So that'd be like 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when I'm going to be streaming. I don't know if you guys are even listening to me right now at this point. I'll probably put it down in the description as well, just so everybody knows, so we can get a nice, couple people in. The last time that I streamed, we got like a good 3 or 4 people in, just, enough to, get a decent little conversation going, able to get some. It'd be cool so we could, get a nice chat going. We can get some predictions down in the comments section. And I'm also working on um, buying and building a PC that I can build, just so the loading is a little bit quicker. It's pretty fast on this laptop, but just for it to be even more quick would be awesome. And then also just so I can stream better, um, and I mean I wouldn't mind having a gaming PC as well. So that's kind of what I've been trying to do. As it looks like Bellator is running a show tonight. Is there anything of interest to us right here? Let's take a look. Cyril Gane to RCC? I don't think so. Who is this? Are you? Oh, you're 0-0. We don't have any interest in you right now. We'll come take a look at you in a couple years. So that's all, apparently, for today. Go and take a look at this and look at all of our emails. and a lot of it is just broadcaster reminders that we need to re-sign. Let's go and take care of that right now, as a matter of fact. Anybody with 4 shows or less, we need to renegotiate with. So Eurosport Russia. All right. Fox Sports Australia. OSN Sports 2. TSN. Got to get those Canadian viewers. All right. That looks like it's all good. Okay. So Rafaela Sunsal, let's go ahead and re-sign. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the rankings first, so that way we get a nice little idea of where we're standing. At the heavyweight division, a lot of people go up. Blagoy Ivanov goes down. Cyril Gane goes up to number 18. No movement at light heavyweight. No movement at middleweight. No movement at welterweight. At the lightweight division, Alia Quinta moves up to number 7. And then Hernandez moves down to number 15. Nothing at featherweight. At bantamweight, Jimmy Rivera and Sunsao switch spots. So like I mentioned, Rivera now in the top 5. Literally, the only 3 people he has lost to are the people that are in front of him. Very, very funny. Flyweight, there is no movement. Featherweight, Amanda Lemos is now number 8, following her win. Let's go. Norma Dumont, we will send down to Invicta. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Norma Dumont, go out to Invicta. Thank you. Go back to the rankings. All right, women's, oh no, not strawweight. Women's bantamweight, where you at? No movement there. At flyweights, no movement. And at strawweight, Tatiana Suarez is now number 3. Of course, Weili Zhang will be fighting Rose Namajunas for the title next. But it looks like Suarez will more than likely be next in line, barring any funny business. Carla Esparza, though, is scheduled to fight against Claudia Gadelha, and with her little winning streak that she's got going on, and if she's able to beat Gadelha, that might set her up for a title shot as well. It's all just dependent on what happens. All right. Maybe Andrade versus JOANNA is the next fight to make. How long is JOANNA going to be out for? About a month or so. Not too bad. Zhao Nanyan, who did she beat? Nina Ansaroff. I mean, maybe find her something to do. Maybe she can fight Michelle Watterson or Randa Marcos. You never know. Verna Jandaroba, who did she beat? Cynthia Calvillo, not necessarily the greatest. Hockey, nice to see you. All right, let's see. All right. So now, who else needs to be re-signed? So Rafaela Sunsal, let's go ahead and get him re-signed. Okay. Good 4 fights for him. All right, Camacho, he's coming off a loss. Oh, he won, actually. My bad. Let's get him re-signed. 2 fights should be good. Kanzad, coming off a loss, and she's 1-3. She's still number 19 in the bantamweight division, though, so we'll go ahead and keep her around. Anyone that's ranked, I probably should hold on to, especially if they're women. Gane, we're gonna keep around. We're gonna keep him around for a while, so let's see if we can lock him into a nice deal, and he will accept that. Matt Brown, probably worth holding on to, mid-level national, even though he's coming off a loss. Give him 3 guaranteed fights. You never know, he might drop down in popularity if he loses a couple more. And then that's all of our emails. All right, so that's gonna do it actually for this episode. I know it's kind of a bummer. It's literally just like a little 25-minute stream, and hockey literally just got here. But that's going to do it. As a reminder, I am going to obviously upload this to YouTube, but I am streaming UFC 250, the next pay-per-view. I'm streaming it at noon. I'm streaming it at noon on Friday. So noon Arizona time or 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when I'm going to be streaming UFC 250. And as a reminder, here is the main card. Kamaru Usman in the main event taking on Jorge Masvidal for the welterweight championship. Henry Cejudo fighting Aljamain Sterling for the bantamweight championship. You also got Nate Diaz versus Damian Maia. Anderson Silva versus Johnny Walker. Jose Aldo with a rematch against Jeremy Stevens. And then you can take a look at the prelims here. Featured prelims including Peter Yan and Curtis Blades. All right, you guys, that's going to go ahead and do it. I will see you guys in the afternoon. AZPlow21 is the channel name. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to click on the little bell on the page so that way you guys get notifications whenever my videos go live. I always appreciate you guys. I will see you guys for UFC 250.